It's called Capitol Spotlight. We're on the third floor of the Rhode Island State House. We do it every week. We get some members of the General Assembly in to speak with us for a few minutes. It gives me a great deal of pleasure to welcome a gentleman we've had the good fortune of interviewing before. He's back with us now, the Honorable State Representative Anthony Giarrusso. Representative, good to see you.
Good to see you, Dave. Thanks for having me on again.
And I know you'd be too modest to say this, but you really don't need this job. I mean, you talk about a guy that supposedly would run because he really had those noble ambitions of trying to affect change. I mean, you're a successful business guy. You threw your hat in the ring. You've run. How's it been going so far?
So far, it's been an eye-opening experience. I mean, as you can see just by reading newspapers and just looking at the news and all that stuff, we have a lot of work to do. And you can see it's not like running a business, and I guess it's not supposed to be, but we have a lot of work to do.
Well, I know one of the pieces of work that you're concerned about is some legislation that you've worked on involving the DMV and repairing our roads. Obviously, right now, people are really concerned with the rough winter we've had, really taking its toll on our roads. Tell us about your legislation.
Well, it's just basically to earmark DMV revenues to the DOT. Now, when you think about it, there's a direct connection between anything we do with our automobiles and trucks and motorcycles or whatever, and the road conditions and the bridges and all that stuff. So if we're collecting taxes to do with DMV, then those monies should go to anything to do with the roads and bridges.
Well, listen, as a business person, you've probably paved a few parking lots in your day, and you've probably renovated or built some buildings. When you talk about bridges, roads, that's probably one of the more costly aspects of our infrastructure.
It's very expensive. It's true. I mean, obviously to do a small parking lot is a small fortune, and I could imagine what it costs to build a road. But it's all about maintenance, and it's really, the bill is not, we're not reinventing the wheel, so to speak. We just want to make sure that we're collecting money that's supposed to be anything to do with driving vehicles, and that money should be going to that. And I know it leaves a hole in the general fund, but I don't really see any logic to having money that's collected for DMV to go into the general fund. There should be a high priority placed on our roads and bridges. I mean, I was watching the noontime news today, and they said that this is the worst the roads and conditions have been in, potholes everywhere. The only people that are making out are people that are doing repairing tires and dentists, because people are losing their fillings in potholes.
Exactly, and people that do front-end alignments, my gosh, sometimes I feel like I'm driving in Beirut. You sit on that bridge commission, right? The study commission that is looking at the condition of our bridges in Rhode Island. Tell us about that.
Well, we just had to come up with a formula to try and avoid tolling Sakonnet River Bridge, and coming up with alternative ways of generating revenues for our tolls and for the roads and bridges and things like that. So this was just one of them. This doesn't completely tighten up the gap. I mean, it helps. It's I believe it's like $67 million is what the projected dollar amount is from the revenue coming from DMV. But it's just a matter of placing a priority. I hope we're not going to wait for a bridge to fall into a river before we start making that front and center.
Well, yeah, because you do have a real safety issue there that everybody is concerned about. But how do maintaining our bridges and roads, how do you see it fitting into our state's economic future?
That's a really good question, Dave. The way I can look at it is, more or less, when someone's deciding where they're going to set up their business, are they going to move to Rhode Island? Are they going to move to Connecticut? Are they going to move to New Jersey? Whatever, you take a pick. And there's a lot of criteria that they look at. One of them has to be infrastructure. For whatever reason, it's a quality of life. They might drive by and say, wow, what kind of state is this? Look at the condition of the roads and bridges. It's no different than your home. You have to have some kind of curb appeal to your home. You're not going to let the thing look like it's in ruins. You want to protect it. You want to have it be respected, and that's same thing with our roads and bridges.
Well, the other thing is too, when you're talking about the kind of improvements that you'd like to see happen, we're also talking about hiring people in the construction trades, which are good paying jobs, which again fuels our economy.
Absolutely. Then there's that too.
Well, listen, I know you're very busy. You and your colleagues that take time out of your day each and every week to visit with us on Capitol Spotlight, we're very appreciative. Thank you so much. My best to you and your colleagues in the Rhode Island House.
Right back at you, Dave.
Thank you so much. And again, we could not do it without you. Thank you so much for watching. For Capitol Spotlight, I'm Dave Barber.